Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, looking like Doctor Strange from another dimension. Let's get it. Today we're talking about monitoring spirits. I got asked this question recently, so I want to speak about it, okay? Now, the first thing is, if this is your first time here, big ups for tuning in. I've got something really special for you today. Today I'm breaking down how to spot these energy parasites, the ones that are moving very sneaky and the ones trying to collect intel on you for reasons that ain't got your best interests in mind. So some call them monitoring spirits. I call them like spiritual paparazzi, okay? So they always show up in your business, always lurking. And if you aren't careful, they're gonna slow your ascension, okay? They're basically like handlers that watch you. They mess with your alignment. They throw turbulence on your flight path, okay? Your spiritual path. So how do we clock them? How do we keep our frequency clear? That's what we're diving into today. Okay, let's roll. How do you spot, first of all, these spirits? Number one, have you ever met someone who asks you way too many questions, right? Like too pressed about the details of your life? You're just vibing, you know, sharing a little something, and then suddenly they laser focus in on the most personal bit, pressing you for more. Like, hold up, why are you so invested in that one thing? Hey, that's not curiosity, man. That's probing. That's data mining. In a real one, they let convos flow naturally. But these types, they pull for information. So just watch out for these kinds of people, because they want to know your wounds, your traumas, the soft spots in your armor, so that they can use it later, whether consciously or unconsciously. They are not here to uplift. They're here to unzip your energy field and sneak in, okay? The second thing is no respect for social cues. If you're trying to wrap up a conversation, you know, and then they act deaf, they keep pushing past the exit sign. It's like trying to trap you in an energy loop. They don't clock boundaries. They don't even realize it, because it's not really about them. The spirit influencing them is just using them as a vehicle to keep you drained, distracted, and disconnected from your divine mission. So if someone always calls you but never feels the need to call them back, that's your intuition telling you something's off. And trust me, your energy knows before your mind does. Man, the third one, I see this one all the time. It's when somebody rushes into a connection, trying to accelerate it way too fast. Day 3, they're already trying to lock in. Day 5, they want to be in your business full time. Bruh, slow down. What's the hurry? Because if they actually let you take your sweet ass time, if they let you observe them properly, you'd see the red flags before they latch onto you. So speed is their weapon because it disorients you. It bypasses your discernment. And before you know it, you're yoked up on the wrong energy. Now listen to this one close. Just because someone opens up about their pain doesn't mean they're safe. Some people use wounds as bait. They love bomb you with vulnerability to speed up connection. But guess what? The moment you feel bad for them, okay, the moment you start carrying their load, now you're hooked. And then boom, they start revealing who they really are. By that point, it's way harder to pull away, because now you feel responsible for them. So don't get caught in this healing false savior trap. Some people are not looking for healing, okay? They're just looking for an energetic host. And guess what? That host ain't gonna be you. Uncle Makara don't play when it comes to spiritual security systems. Some of y'all have been experiencing brain fog, weird dreams, random confusion, like you're trying to pray, but your mind keeps slipping. This ain't random. That's electromagnetic interference. It's your thoughts. It's other people's thoughts. These are ideas. The solution is to anoint your home. Right now, I'm anointing my home. You do it with oils, incense, sages, or just your straight up words, your actual command. And you just clean up your energetic space. You know, you banish, you walk through your spot, you claim your dominion. You know, evict them. They cannot live rent-free anymore, okay? Now listen, your energy is very, very valuable. Your mission is very, very sacred, and not everyone deserves front row seats to your life. okay? Your empathy, your care, your kindness is a privilege. So keep your circle sharp, keep your boundaries ironclad, and stay tapped into your own discernment. So now I'm going to teach you how to go beyond the veil and armor up in ways that they can't even detect you, let alone infiltrate you, okay? They're not all-knowing. They just rely on information and data, on your unguarded energy and your own ignorance, your own mindlessness instead of mindfulness, I guess you could call it, right? But once you master your own energetic presence, and they will become powerless against you. Have you ever heard of Gupta Vidya, the law of concealment? Hidden things cannot be stolen. So this is why in many esoteric traditions, from the Tantric Siddhas to the Kabbalistic mystics, they speak about secrecy as an actual form of power, okay? So in Hermeticism, we call it the principle of mentalism, right? All is mind. Your reality is shaped by what you let enter in your mind. In Tantra, it's the idea of the mantra Shakti, or the power of words, which should only be revealed to initiates. In Voodoo, or Vudan, powerful Hugans say the loudest man in the room is the weakest. So this transcends across many different cultures. The topmost protection method that I would tell you is to stop oversharing. The more you reveal about yourself, your plans, your wounds, your relationships, the easier it is for these spirits to manipulate your path. So speak in code, speak in parables if needed. Let only the right eyes see and the right eyes hear. Use these techniques, these technologies in silence. Let your words and power be stored deep inside you. I've made the mistake of blabbering about, the occult too much on this channel. I've understood that it's not a very safe practice. Before sharing personal information, you always have to pause and ask, does this person actually need to know? Or am I being probed? Does this person actually need to know this information? This is also how people get you into, these online scams and so forth, right? They ask for your personal information. It's the same idea. You can always sense that there's something off about that energy, right? So then we have the energetic reversal, the mirror shield technique. What they send bounces back. You visualize yourself surrounded by a mirror shield so that any gaze, any thought form, any, energy sent your way just bounces back. And it's not aggressive, it's just reflective, right? So it just reflects off of you. So before entering a room, you visualize a golden orb of mirrors, in a sense, surrounding you. So if someone tries to pry into your life, imagine their words just bouncing off and echoing off of this golden orb of mirrors. And this is where you can just say, return to sender. This is not mine. This is not mine. Return to sender. The sound of dismissal of the mantric frequency. Certain vibrations disrupt their frequency, okay? So think about, certain beings cannot tolerate high frequencies. So mantras and chants actually create resonance barriers. It's like having a spiritual firewall, okay? Think of it like that, like cyber security for your own internal world. You use specific sound codes to erase their blueprint, okay? Om Hrim Namah, okay, this is the Vedic mantra to dissolve a negative energy. This, if you want to destroy, parasitic attachments, you just say the name of Kali, Kalima, Kali Kalima. Om Shung Lung Om is the Tibetan protection frequency. One of my personal favorites is using the Vajra armor chant. I'm not gonna reveal that onto here, but the adepts know what I'm talking about. Very, very powerful, and I got shown that through Padmasambhava's energy. Very, very powerful. And if you're feeling really modern about it, even like brown noise, I think, seems to disrupt these spirits for some reason. Quantum cloaking is another thing that you can try. What cannot be observed cannot be interfered with. In quantum physics, the observer collapses probability into reality, right? And monitoring spirits work through observation. So the more they see into your life, the more influence that they gain. So if you stop giving them a fixed position to latch onto, and you remain flowing, you remain unpredictable, you don't always respond in the same way, you kind of wig them out, right? They start bugging out, basically. They will be invisible to your perception, okay? by acting outside of their expectations. Like if I start randomly like clicking completely random things on my algorithm, it's gonna kind of confuse them, right? Of like, what is this guy actually like? Like, is like 7 different people on this, like using the same account? Like what's going on here, right? So confuse them. If you wake up at 7 a.m., wake up at 6:45, you know, switch up your emotional response. If you normally get irritated by something, you respond with indifferent, meh. You know, be where they don't expect. If they sense you in one location energetically, you shift your presence mentally to elsewhere, right? Because they're reading the energy signatures. If you're like sitting in your room and you're imagining, I love this beach, right? You can possibly do that. So be where they don't expect. And yeah, this is like a Jedi mind trick for the metaphysical world, man. You got to really understand physical and astral barriers too. Your temple is not yours alone, so sometimes you need a literal boundary. If these beings, these monitoring spirits, if they keep penetrating your field, it's time to seal your home, okay? Seal your aura. There's one technique that I taught Ryan G a few years ago where you tie the energy of a flag, like a white flag, in your space, and you let that energy kind of, through a ritual, through a candle, like it gets absorbed into that, and then you go and you tie it somewhere very far away, like you go to a faraway park or somewhere, and you tie it on a tree or you tie it on a branch, so that that spirit can roam free away from your home, right? There's a very specific process of doing this, so you can just ask me more in person about that method. But yeah, physically anoint your space. You know, use salt, use herbs, use oils, use sigils, use divine guardians. But also, make sure that you draw energetic lines, you know, at your door with oil, with chalk. Place protection sigils under your bed, okay? Hecate's wheel, Solomon's seal, the Ankh, okay? Something like I use the Eye of Horus because that's the most powerful one for me because it's directly connected to my third eye. So yeah, before sleeping, you just imagine a similar golden armor. I love the golden armor and the Vajra armor. I kind of imagine like I'm in a diamond costume, right? Like a diamond soldier. That's what it feels like. Anything else? Oh yeah. So basically they need your permission, okay? Spiritual parasites are vampires. They need an invitation to attach. So they work through subtle consent, okay? So this is the law of the threshold. They need permission. No entity can enter without consent. So that means guilt tripping you into listening to them, making you feel obligated to help them, you know, tricking you into answering questions that you didn't need to answer. You know, deny consent, literally say, I do not grant you access to this. Cut energy cords. Imagine if someone drains you, you know, use Michael's sword or something to slice the attachment, or some other, you know, weapon of some deity. Don't accept gifts or favors from unknown sources. Some people hide spirits in exchanges, okay? The practical move is if someone makes you feel drained, you repeat, I reject all unauthorized connections to my energy field. Okay, that's a good thing to say. And again, you can also say return to sender. Radiance mode is a fully lit room has no shadows, okay? So that means the highest level of protection is to be so full of your own divine fire that nothing can latch onto you. So monitoring spirits actually thrive in these lower frequency environments where there's doubt, insecurity, fear, trauma. So remove the conditions that allow them to operate. If you own your presence and you walk as if you're already protected, you laugh a lot, you laugh very often, and that higher vibration or that celebratory energy is gonna be unreadable to these lower entities. And also be unapologetic, like they feed off of hesitation, but when you stand in your full authority, they just bounce off like insects hitting a force field. And every morning, if you imagine doing this, so golden fire expanding from your heart, every day you just imagine the golden orb of mirrors and the golden Vajra armor. Now you're like, woof, now it's 3 in 1. Okay, that's a lot of protection already. Only truth may enter my field, only light may dwell in my space. Okay, just by saying things like this, you are actually accumulating and living so authentically that they can't even understand you because you're no longer playing by their rules. So, hey, these spirits exist, okay? But once you master these protections, they become irrelevant. You are not prey, you are not a victim. You are the storm, you are the fire, you are the flood. And when they try to watch you, all they will see is a blinding holy light. Stay protected, stay powerful. Much love to all of you. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. You got this, we got this. Upward Spiral Gang.